Look at it. Oh my god, I must have it. Skyforge. It gives one of my creatures every turn a steel dagger, making them stronger, and then turns them into a werewolf. But no, you new player, stop. This card is not for you. Wait a moment and relax with me, Beaky, from the Elder Scrolls Legends Central. I'm back making videos for you. Let me explain why you shouldn't be playing Skyforge, especially as a new player. Let's get into the game. Welcome back, Legends fans. It's your boy Beaky, and I'm finally not sick as I have been for the last few weeks, so I can make Legends videos for your entertainment and ad-free. So sit back, enjoy, and definitely jump into the discussions down below in the comment section or on Reddit and agree with me or disagree with me what we're about to talk about, because this could be a little bit controversial because I don't recommend this beautiful premium art cards to new players. So Skyforge. Skyforge is one of those cards, in concept it looks like it's gonna be unbelievably good if you get to throw it into like a Circle Initiate, Champion, and all the other beast form creature type decks out there. In fact, I have a beast form creature deck, you know, a ranked starter budget deck that I put up on Legends-Decks a few months ago that got a lot of praise. And with that, I went ahead and updated it recently, and I was just looking through cards that I should maybe be adding to them. I saw Skyforge, and like for a second I was like, maybe I should put in it. Then I just thought about it. No, Skyforge is not a great card to really add into a werewolf type beast form deck. And I'm gonna explain why you might actually want to avoid this card, as good as it might actually look. And even if you're a new player, rank 10, rank 11, rank 12, and you got Skyforge from a pack, if you have a lot of the other beast form creatures like Circle Initiate, if you have Champion, if you have Grim, and you're still thinking about adding, I actually would really recommend you not doing it. And I'm gonna explain to you exactly why you would not want to do that right now. So let's go take a look at the card itself and actually go over what it does and why it actually doesn't seem to be that great of a card in the long run, especially if you're going to be playing pretty aggro with definitely werewolf type creatures. So Skyforge, activate or support. 3 uses: equip the friendly creature with a steel dagger. If Skyforge has equipped 3 daggers, it changes it into Underforge. So Underforge, activate a friendly creature, becomes a werewolf. Friendly werewolves have +1/1. Now, +1 attack, +1 health. Excellent. That's looking like Divine Favor material right there. But overall, Divine Favor is still a better card, and I'm explaining to that why real soon. But let's start off with what it does initially. It's a 3 magical cost. Its magical cost is perfect, like perfect. This is where Bethesda just got it so right. It's a good card for its magical cost, but in the long run, what you're going to want to do with this card is not valuable. The fact that it only equips 1 creature a turn with a steel dagger is not great at all, meaning you have to go through 3 activation of this card on the field to survive that. With there's so many ways to remove supports these days, like the new Archer that came out a few months ago as a support card. There's just like so many other ways to remove supports like this. Y'all Archer could take care of it easily, because it's turn 3 you drop this, next turn y'all Archer comes out from your opponent, that card's gone. Priestess could come out and remove this instantly. So you have to keep this on the field for 3 turns, right? Which your opponent might even let you do. After the 3rd turn of just giving 1 creature every single turn a steel dagger, which is not that significant if it's only 1 creature when you summon 1. It really isn't. It's just how it's going to be. Now, next up, after all that happened, now we get into what you really want. It's able to turn creatures that are not werewolves. So if you're looking at my deck right here, this rank starter deck, right? Now you're going to be able to turn creatures, let's say, into like Alt right here into a werewolf. You're going to be able to turn creatures like Sharpshooter Scout into a werewolf. But now you're looking at it's turn 6. Like, you know, you've put this on turn 3, 3 turns has passed, it's turn 6, turn 7 now, turn 8, going from there. Now you're finally able to turn those other little creatures on the field into werewolves. And let's say you're not even playing a werewolf deck, you're not a beast form deck. Now you're able to like, okay, cool, now all these creatures are becoming werewolf and they're getting stronger. But once again, you only could transform 1 creature per turn into werewolves. If it said, right, it says activate, unlimited use, which is great, but if it would have said instead of activate, you know, all creatures on your side of the field are werewolves and they get +1/1, then this card would be amazing. That means that instantly every creature you have become werewolves. Instead, you have to choose one creature at a time to become a werewolf. And because it's not until at earliest turn 7 you really get to, when you have 7 Magicka, you get to have the most advantage for this card. It's not going to really work out for you compared to other cards you could be equipping in your deck just to take this out and give yourself a little bit more power and push for that one turn. Because like I said, it's one card, but you could replace this with another one card that could impact your deck even better. Now let's talk about the situation that you are playing with a deck with a bunch of werewolves anyways, right? So like this specific deck that we're looking at right here, we have right here Grim, we have Champion, we have Circle Initiate, and before in the old form of this deck I did have before I actually edited the deck up, I did have right here, we did have Whiterun Protector, but I took Whiterun Protector out of this deck just because of how the game has changed. Once again, I have the old version on Legends That's Decks and the new version, so you could pick whichever version you wanted. I replaced Whiterun Protector to give me him right here because I feel like he'd be a better card just the way things are right now. And y'all Archer, with how many supports are in the game, especially with supports like Mechanar's Heart, you're going to need to have support removal these days, and if you don't want to run Priestess, this is a good alternative to that to get rid of stuff like I said already, you're just going to want to get rid of Mechanar's Heart, especially against willpower creatures. So those are the two cards, and this could be used as a ping to break runes to activate your werewolf cards by breaking runes. So that's the cool stuff right there with y'all Archers combo. So besides just, you know, the fact that I took out a few werewolves, but there's still some in here, like beast form creatures. So even if you have Grim down, even if you have Circle Initiate down, even if you have Champion down, so you have a bunch of werewolves down, and now you're going to be able to play, and now Skyforge finally gives all those werewolves plus 1/1. You know, it's absolutely great. Let's say if you have 3 of them down, now you got an extra 3 damage on the field. There would have been easier ways for you to get 3 extra damage for those creatures anyways. It's the fact of the matter, it took too long to get to that point. If you're in a situation where you have a bunch of werewolves on both sides of your field, let's say you got freaking 4 monsters out right now, you already probably had the advantage. You could probably already going for the win. It's turn 7, it's turn 8, it's around those times. That's where a type of deck like this wants to win. This is not the type of deck that's going to be trying to play long format. But I'm just talking about this deck specifically because this is just the one I have up right now. And of course, there's always the other problem when it comes to like things that increase damage is items. So when you're thinking about that, that steel, Skyforge gives 1 dagger, 1 dagger, 1 dagger. When you could have just added in this and gives one creature +2/2. Yes, that creature might not end up getting that extra damage for the steel dagger, but this creature might be able to survive a little longer because of the +2 health, which might be even more important if you're trying to keep that creature alive. Especially if it's a creature somebody like, let's say, Circle Initiate. Let's say on turn 3 you play Skyforge, and you had Circle Initiate out. You haven't been able to break a rune. You give Circle Initiate the dagger. She becomes a 3/2. Yeah, that's great, but now she's still susceptible to firebolts. Something like this would actually give her more health, making her be able to stay alive longer enough to actually go ahead and transform into a beast form. It's things like that you have to think about. Yes, getting more damage is great, but your creatures need to survive to use that extra damage. And items might be the exact way you'd be able to do that. And things like Assassin Bow might even be better for beast form creatures in a sense because that keeps them in the cover. You know, when they're in cover, they're not going to be able to get attacked directly by your enemy creatures unless they have an effect like that actually goes ahead and kills them. Let's say if we're going to be talking about a creature that could do that for Circle Initiate, let's just head back real quick. Most people don't play this card these days, but you know, every now and then in higher ranks I do see it get played. Ash Servant, so it deals 2 damage to a creature, like something like this, right? You know, if you're going to be playing this card, then you know, being in the cover is not going to really help you out. But still, I would still prefer Assassin Bow over something like Skyforge, even if you use one comparative, because it could keep that one creature that you really need in cover till it's the right time to just go attack, and it transforms and wins you the game. I think Skyforge is just too slow. And then if we talk about the other attributes that you could equip with something that could relate to Skyforge, well, let's just look at the other supports out there that are vastly better. Let's go ahead right back into red first. If you're going to be playing a 3 Magicka support that powers up your creature, then the best choice really is Northern Outpost. This used to be a 2 Magicka cost card, and they had to bump it up because of how powerful it was. And even at 3 Magicka, it's still highly valuable and powerful. So if you're playing a werewolf deck and you're still playing pretty aggro, Northern Wind Outposts are pretty great cards, especially if you're going to be playing a lot of strength creatures. You could combo that with stuff like Radiant Party, Northern Firebrands. There's a lot of creatures out there that you could combo with. The Circle Initiate will get the power up from Northern Outposts as well, and that could be a way better card because every red creature you summon instantly gets that +1. You don't have to choose one creature like Skyforge every single turn to give one dagger. Next turn, one dagger. Remember, you give the creature the dagger, it could get eliminated instantly. That's the problem with that situation right there, right? And the other bigger problem that I think new players might not even think about initially is with Skyforge. Yeah, it's great that it has the ability to power one creature and make it be able not get hit by things like Execute. Because if we look at Execute right now, which I think is still one of the coolest cards in the game. Let's just go over there right there. Execute. Destroy a creature with 2 power or less, right? So Skyforge could negate that. You could give that to a Circle Initiate. Now, Circle Initiate can't get destroyed by Execute. But with something like Northern Outpost, every creature, same magical cost, every red creature is going to get 1+1. That +1 might give them enough to just get to 3 attack, and that 3 attack, now all of them are protected instead of just one creature being potentially protected per turn. Like Skyforge to me is like one of those cards that unless you're only summoning one creature a turn and you only want, or like if you summon 2 and you only care about one of them getting the power up over time, it's just too slow. It's just not, it's for a legendary card. It's just one of those cards that look amazing, great premium art, but I would just tell you to stay away from it. And that's just only talking about red. Let's talk about another attribute. Let's just say you're going to be comboing with blue intelligence. There's a way better card like Corsair Ship. Once again, every single creature that gets summoned up, it doesn't matter what attribute they are, it gets a steel dagger instantly. Yes, it costs 1 magicka more. I know that seems like a disadvantage, but it isn't a disadvantage in Corsair Ship's sense, because instant you place Corsair Ship, it gives you a creature. The fact that it gives you a creature, it allows you to feel like you're actually keeping tempo while you're playing it. It's like, okay, I played this card, which is a support, instead of me having to have another creature on the field. Like you play Mundistone, right? On turn 4. You most likely, unless you have a 0-cost Northern Firebrand or a 0-cost creature, you're not going to be able to combo something on turn 4 when you have 4 magicka only, you didn't ramp, to combo with Mundistone. Now, with Corsair Ship, you play Corsair Ship, and instantly the Corsair Ship gives you a 1/1 creature, and that 1/1 creature gets the Steel Dagger. So now you got a 2/1, 2 attack, 1 health on the field. That is a good tempo play for me. That's why I like Corsair Ship, and I know some people don't like it as much as me, but I actually think this is a very fair and balanced card for the game. I don't think it's too powerful, and I don't think it's too weak. I think what it does is okay because it actually gives you that creature. And moving on from there, another one that's a classic. Let's move on over to Willpower, if you want to just go by the attributes. Divine Favor, classic. I don't get to see it played as much as days. Not that it doesn't get played a lot, just I don't see it played as much. But then again, I'm not playing it as much as I used to because I've been sick and everything else. But still, point being, friendly creatures have +1 attack, +1 health. It's simple. We all knew what this does, knows what this does. Yes, you got to level up in the game to get this. So for the new players out there, you might not be high enough level to actually have your Divine Favored, the card before Divine Favor actually all the way level up to use this. Let me just go ahead and find what that card is actually called, because I forgot what level it is. Give me 1 second. And just like that, I'm back. I know that was instant for you guys, but I had to find it. I don't know, it was kind of bugging me. But Divine Conviction. So this one, friendly creatures have +1 health. So you have to get to level 9. It's at level 9 you'll be able to upgrade Divine Conviction to Divine Favor, but still, that's not going to take you too long in this game, especially when you go through the story mode first, which I would very much recommend all new players do. Play through the story mode, play through a bunch of solo arenas, get the hang of the game, then jump into the casuals. Of course, do whatever you like. If you want to just do half the story mode and then jump online, just make sure you expect, if you start losing, that, you know, don't quit the game. You got to learn the concept and the way things work. But yeah, Divine Conviction into Divine Favor, and overall Divine Favor is just a better card than Skyforge. Every creature that can summon instantly get a +1. You stack these together. It's awesome. It's not limited. So that's the type of thing with this one. You don't have to run 1 Divine Favor compared to Skyforge. You only can run 1. Now that I think about it, what would it be like if Skyforge wasn't actually a unique card? That would be actually quite interesting if it wasn't. It's not going to be, but that's not going to get removed. I don't think I've seen any I don't think I've ever seen a patch in the game that removes something from being a unique card. Of all the things I've seen, no, I don't think that's ever happened, at least while I'm playing. At least from what I remember from the open beta and everything like that. But yeah, that's basically my little discussion for you guys there. Like, this rank starter budget deck is going to work just fine without using a card like Skyforge. Even if you get it in the pack, I would highly suggest that you stay away from that card. It's just too slow. There's way better items you can add into your deck to just work out better in the long run if you want to get the most out of your beast form creatures. This has been BK here with the Untitled Game Show. My personal opinion right here. Let me know what you guys think in this discussion video in the comments section below. Do you agree with me? Is Skyforge too slow for most beast form decks or even non-beast form decks? Because, like I said before, if you're just using Skyforge to turn all your creatures into beast form werewolf creatures, I'm like, by the time you're starting to even do that, it's gonna be so far into the game. I mean, like, unless you're playing a long run type of game, I'm not sure if it's gonna be really worth it. I'm not sure if that 1/1 is gonna be worth it with so much support removal in the game currently. And that's the problem with support. Like, supports, you either want to have a really good board impact the moment you play it, or it's just gonna have such a big advantage for you for the long run that your opponent's eventually either going to have to remove it, or if they never do, it's going to help you win the game. Like something like His Grove, Ram's Magica, if it stays on the board long enough, it becomes 2 Leviathans. Amazing. Divine Favor powers up everything. It doesn't have no freaking limits on how you could play all 3. You play 3 of them. Like, that's a good, Northern Outpost, you can play 3 of them. There's no limit on that one. Corsair Ship, you can play 3 of them. Now, that really got me thinking. There's another question. What would it be like to have 3 Corsair Skyforge? That would have been, maybe make this card more for fun. You could play one on turn 3, play one at, you just keep playing them on turn 4, turn 5. It would have been a little bit more interesting. Still, I feel like I wouldn't, because probably by the time you play the one at turn 6 or something like that, it still would take so long to get to Underforge. It's just not viable. I really, the way I think the most, if this was instead unique, it would have just have to change. It would not be an activate. Underforge would have to be like, all friendly creatures become werewolf. It would just need to change the board. It would just need to change all creatures on your side of the field are werewolves and get the +1/1. That would have been interesting. That would have been cool, in my personal opinion. Do you agree? Let me know. Peace out, ladies and